Talking about AI, don't you know? Neural networks and deep learning too. In this podcast, we'll break it down for you. Machine learning, oh what a thrill. Discussing algorithms gives us a chill. Data science models, we can't get enough. This podcast rocks, it's never too tough. Got questions, we've got the scoop. Join our tech-savvy podcast group. From beginners to pros, come one, come all. Machine learning's fun, we're having a ball. Machine learning, oh what a...
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of AI at the Edge, where we dive into the latest advancements and trends in artificial intelligence and machine learning. I'm Shastya, your AI enthusiast and machine learning engineer. I'm here in the beautiful Boulder, Colorado, still riding high from my last hike into the Rockies. Aubrey, how's it going in San Diego?
Hey Shastya, things are great here. The beach is calling, but today I'm equally excited to dive into our topic. You know me, when I'm not out exploring nature, I love discussing how technology can intersect with conservation. And speaking of intersections, today's topic is a perfect blend of our worlds. We're diving into hybrid RAG, integrating knowledge graphs, and vector retrieval augmented generation for efficient information extraction. An intriguing paper by Bhaskarjit Sarma, Benika Hall, Rohan Rao, Sunil Patel, Stefano Pasquale, and Dagash Mehta.
That's right, Aubrey. This paper really digs into the weeds of financial document analysis, no pun intended, of course. The authors introduce hybrid RAG, a technique combining knowledge graphs and vector retrieval augmented generation to tackle the challenges of information extraction in financial documents. These documents, like earnings call transcripts, are notoriously complex and filled with jargon, making them tough nuts to crack even for advanced language models.
Ah, the world of earnings calls and financial transcripts. Nothing screams excitement like listening to CEOs drone on about quarterly revenues, right? Laughs. But seriously, let's unpack this. From what I gather, traditional methods like vector RAG haven't been cutting it because of uneven document structures and highly specific terminology. Am I right?
Spot on, Aubrey. Vector RAG primarily uses vector databases to retrieve contextual information for text generation tasks. It's great for getting context from large textual repositories, but it can miss the mark when dealing with the specialized and hierarchical nature of financial documents. Imagine trying to follow one of those convoluted treasure maps without proper landmarks. It's a lot like that.
And that's where knowledge graphs come in, with their structured representation of entities and relationships. By organizing data into triple subject, predicate, and object-to-knowledge graph allows for more robust querying and reasoning. But they, too, have their weaknesses. They struggle with abstract questions where the entities aren't explicitly mentioned.
Exactly. That's why the authors proposed hybrid RAG, combining the strengths of both vector RAG and knowledge graph-based RAG, also known as graph RAG. By fusing these approaches, hybrid RAG can retrieve and synthesize more accurate and contextually relevant answers from both the vector and graph database contexts.
Let's dive deeper into the methodology. How do they actually integrate these two RAG techniques?
It starts with document preprocessing. They split these financial documents into manageable chunks and embed them into a vector database. Simultaneously, they construct knowledge graphs from the same chunk data, forming rich, queryable information layouts.
Right, then comes the retrieval process. They perform context retrieval from both the vector database and the knowledge graph. The magic happens when they combine this context and feed it into an advanced language model like GPT 3.5 Turbo for final answer generation. Essentially, they're playing tag team with data retrieval to ensure they cover all bases.
And it works. Their experiments demonstrated that hybrid RAG outperforms both standalone vector RAG and graph RAG techniques in retrieval accuracy and answer generation. The system was evaluated using multiple metrics such as faithfulness, answer relevancy, context precision, and context recall.
Now that's impressive. But let's talk numbers. What do the results say?
The hybrid RAG achieved high marks in faithfulness and answer relevance. Its faithfulness, which checks if the generated answer is rooted in the provided context, hit 0.96 equal to graph RAG, and higher than vector RAG's 0.94. In answer relevance, hybrid RAG scored 0.96 compared to vector RAG's 0.91 and graph RAG's 0.89. On context precision, GraphRag led with 0.96, while HybridRag scored 0.79, slightly lower due to its integrated retrieval approach, which can introduce less precise content.
It's fascinating how they managed to balance out these metrics. I mean, perfect context recall scores for both VectorRag and HybridRag at 1.0 show the value of integrating contexts, even if it slightly affects precision. An example of the good outweighing the bad, right?
Absolutely. It's like hiking with a well-packed backpack. It may be heavier, but having all you need can make the trip more manageable. And beyond the paper, the real-world implications are vast. Accurate information extraction aids financial analysts in making informed decisions, ultimately impacting market predictions and investment strategies.
It's interesting how such a sophisticated AI system can support financial analyses. However, I can't help but think about broader applications. Could this hybrid approach be useful in conservation efforts where we might integrate species data from various heterogeneous data sources?
That's not a far stretch, Aubrey. The hybrid method could indeed manage complex information frameworks in conservation, helping to track environmental impacts or species interactions accurately. The key takeaway here is HybridRag's potential across domains, wherever structured and unstructured data need to be combined and accurately interpreted.
And there is always room for improvements, too. Future work might even explore integrating real-time data streams, which can be a game changer, whether in financial markets or conservation tech.
Exactly. There's so much room for innovation. What's more exciting is HybridRag's ability to democratize access to structured, complex information, making it easier for more people to interact with and understand data.
Well, folks, on that inspiring note, we wrap up today's episode. From finance to conservation, HybridRag seems like a step forward towards more intelligent information systems across various domains. I've had a blast discussing this with you, Shastya.
Same here, Aubrey. Thanks to all our listeners for tuning in. Keep pushing those boundaries of knowledge and exploring the exciting frontiers of AI. Don't forget to follow us for more episodes of AI at the Edge.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay adventurous.
Microphones on, we're ready to go. Talking about AI, don't you know? Neural networks and deep learning too. In this podcast, we'll break it down for you. Machine learning, oh what a thrill. Discussing algorithms gives us a chill. Data science models, we can't get enough. This podcast rocks, it's never too tough. Questions, we've got the scoop. Join our tech-savvy podcast group. From beginners to pros, come one, come all. Machine learning's fun, we're having a ball. Machine learning, oh what a thrill. Discussing algorithms gives us a chill. Data science models, we can't get enough. This podcast rocks, it's never too tough. Machine learning, oh what a thrill. Discussing algorithms gives us a chill. Data sets models, we can't get enough. This podcast rocks, it's never too tough.